Village Board meeting. This meeting is being conducted both in person and remotely. For the record, this is Village President Mark Zula, and I am currently at our regular meeting location, Roscoe Village Hall. Provisions have been made to allow elected officials, village staff, and members of the public to participate remotely if necessary. As always, any action taken tonight will be conducted by a roll call vote. Item 2, Pledge of Allegiance. I will now ask all those present to please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. Given the audio delay issues, we will ask everyone participating remotely to keep their microphone on mute during the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Item 3. Roll call. Clerk, will you please call the roll? And will those trustees joining us remotely please acknowledge that they can hear the proceedings?
Josephson,
Yes, and I can hear you.
Petty,
Yes.
Dunn,
Yes.
Flock,
Here.
Malco,
Here.
King.
Yes, and I can hear you.
Okay, thank you very much. Item 4, public comment. Are there any members of the public that wish to be heard under public comment this evening? If there are any members of the public logged into the meeting this evening that wish to speak, please unmute your phone or microphone, state your name and address, and as always, please limit your comments to 3 minutes. If you are on remotely, if you hit *6, that will raise your hand, and then Joseph can let you into the meeting. Joe, do we have anyone with a hand up currently?
No, we do not.
We do not. Okay. Anybody sitting on the floor wish to give public comment?
I think you might have had something.
Oh, I'm sorry. Could you come up here to the? Thank you. And go ahead and write your name and address down, sign in there. And then if you'd be so kind as to give us your name and address.
My name is Sean McCarron. I live at 9122 Sheringham Drive.
Okay.
And last week I called the village because I had some concerns with waste management, missing about 7 bags. And the person I spoke to in the village said that good timing because this week you guys going to be voting on that, if I understood correctly. And that maybe offer my comment just to some of the challenges that I had with waste management with pulling up the account and basically stating that I have 1 can and recycle, and anything outside that is outside of there'd be additional charges. So that's a bit unclear to me. I have some commercial accounts outside of the village with waste management where I would just caution the village and fellow citizens that they take video and photographs of anything that is over, which obviously makes sense, but just be careful about being nickel and dimed as citizens. So that's all my comment is, and just take that under advisement.
Well, I appreciate that. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Have a nice evening.
So thank you.
Please have a happy holidays.
Too. Thank you.
Any other public comment? Joe?
No.
Okay. Public comment is now gone. Item 5, President's Report. I want to take a minute on the President's Report to give Leanna Jones an opportunity to address the board. Scott, would you like to bring us up?
Yeah, I will real quick.
quick.
I'll be I'll be your warm up. I'll be the.
There you go.
So, as Leanne can describe in more detail, we need to do some testing. Right, we have to populate at least 1, and I think probably 2 new lists, and there's some testing that goes along with that. We utilize a company called IO Solutions. They are pretty expensive. We have gone an alternate route one time, and that was disastrous. That didn't work. They are the people that we kind of need to use. But there are aspects of it that we can self-perform. There's aspects they have to do themselves, stuff that we can do. However, it is additional time expended by the Police and Fire Commission outside of their regular meetings. And Leanne and I have been talking about, is there a way to compensate for that? Right now, we just have compensation for ordinance. There's just compensation for their meetings. It doesn't take into account, but they're doing this at a tremendous savings to the village. So I'd like to turn over to you because you know it, the numbers are much more detailed.
I do. So since I became the chairman of the Police and Fire Commission in the last 3 years, we have done our testing ourselves. So we buy the package from IO Solution, which costs about $1,500 just to contract with them. There's a minimum of 50 tests we have to purchase. It costs $35 per test and then another $25 per test to be scored plus shipping. The other piece that they charged in the past that we have not utilized is proctoring. So they'll come to the village for $1,700 plus mileage plus time. I don't even actually know what that is because we never figured out the mileage piece. And like Scott said, we really don't have another option. We have to use the same company we used before because we currently have a member on that list that's in the military and who is deployed. And so to do a second list, we need to use the same exact everything, same test, same everything, and then we can merge the lists. And so we'd have an opportunity to hire, I hope. And we have 2 spots now open for patrol. So we know we are going to test in January. We already have a date scheduled. It's already been published. We've signed the contract to do the minimum. But what we've done over the last year since I've become chairman is we've self-proctored the test. Each test takes about 3 hours. We typically try to have 2 people from our commission. Historically, Sam has also been there. We had it one time here, which I really liked and preferred because the video, we actually caught somebody cheating and could disqualify them immediately.
Really?
Yes. And so I don't feel like if we use IO Solutions that if they can do it remotely, same cost without the travel fees. I don't think they'll have the same. Well, first of all, it's our village. We care who we choose and who we bring here. I mean, that's just a company for them. So I want to be involved in this process. And as a police chief, I feel like I have a really good handle on it because I also do the hiring for my agency. But I feel like we could compensate our commissioners who have been long-term commissioners at a nominal rate. And Scott and I've had a few discussions on what it could be, but we think the overall savings, you'll see in our budgets or our past budgets, the amount of money we have saved by not using them to proctor, it's in the thousands because we've run 3 tests this last year to the prior year that we've proctored. So what I'd like to do or have you consider is either whatever their meeting stipend is as an hourly rate for testing and for interviews, because it's usually a multi-day interview process, many hours involved, or a one-time fee for both testing and interviews. So up to the board, but a couple options, they'd work about to be the same. And you may
You want to propose what the one-time fee would be?
well, the one-time fee, so just looking at the pure savings from not using them just to proctor, I think if we even did like $200 a meeting for those longer meetings where we are testing and proctoring, would save us a minimum of $1,200 minimum just by not hiring IO Solutions just to do the proctoring, in addition to their other costs. The other idea I had was if we don't have many interviews, another way to save some money would be if we do our stipend by the hour. So if it's $40 stipend, we would just do a $40 an hour for both testing and interviews. So a nominal charge compared to what this company I feel wants to charge us.
Sure.
Like I said, we've got a really good board. I think we work really well, but it's very time consuming. And I think after now going into year 3 of having to hire again, I mean, I don't see the hiring process ending anytime soon. Nationally, it's that way. It's in that way in my own agency where we only get a handful of people and half of them are disqualified in the background process that we have to hire more often or run the process more often. So
just real quick,
Yeah.
Leanne. So are you saying that each time that you guys meet, it's a minimum of 3 hours?
no, only for running a test, an
Okay.
actual written test,
Okay.
and then for doing interviews.
Okay. And you think that that's roughly 3 hours or could it
I
be
think-
5?
Well, if it's more than 3, we would probably do 2 nights of 3 hours. Mike, you may have some experience with doing the interviews too. We tried to do.
I'm just a little curious, to get my head around it, so we can have a conversation.
Yes, we would have a couple nights, depending on like the last couple of hires we've had have been from Chicago. So we try to offer some like a variety. So we'll be here from like 5 to 9,
Sure.
Maybe a little bit less. Go ahead.
Please.
The reason this is important, it is time sensitive. There is going to be, this happens soon.
January 28th, we
Yeah.
have an actual written test and we are planning to proctor it regardless what you say, because I just think it's the right thing to do
Yeah.
to save money.
So that I just want to like
Yeah.
Thank you.
straw poll that whether there was
Interest.
authorization to pursue. I mean, we'll write language and we'll come up with some modification of the compensation structure for police and fire commission to acknowledge this role they can play and how they get paid for it. But that's going to take a few meetings to do that.
Yeah.
This happens before, so if we can just sort of straw poll yes or no
Okay.
to this compensation, then I can offer.
Okay, so yes, I agree to the compensation.
I call on Mike or do you call on him?
Mike, go ahead.
And is that $200 per hour, per person?
No, that would either, my examples are either $200 for those longer events, like for testing, because it's a few hours, or for interviews where it's a few hours, or the hourly stipend, hourly rate as a stipend.
It'd be $40 an hour.
Like $40 an hour.
So 3 hours, it's $120.
Yeah, so either way, I mean, there's two different things. I mean, obviously, I'm very financially responsible for all of that, and I would do what's best for the village. So
Right.
I just wanted to give you some options. And I gave you the hourly option only because if it returns to the olden days where we end up interviewing 15 people, those are longer days.
Sure. And I think, yeah, just as, my opinion is, I think the hourly rate is the way to go. Um, Just because of the unique part of it, right? You know what I mean? Some are good. You might do it in 2 hours one day.
Exactly. And that's why I thought.
It is what it is, right? Versus capping it at 200, then
Right,
that could be an added expense. So.
right. But then the cap at 200 prevents it on the flip side if we end up having a lot of people come and test
Sure,
it.
no, I get it.
Yeah.
I get it.
But that's why I thought I'd present options and you can see from the budget how much we have saved over the years. I mean, it's dramatic.
I get it. Appreciate it.
As
Thank
chairman,
you.
do you have a preference
Per
per hour?
I want to take care of our commissioners. I want to keep them on and I want to make sure they're fairly compensated for the work that we do
Absolutely.
with that. I mean, I could go either way. It's not about me. It's about our board and having the best available. And I can see it saving money both directions. Like Mark said, if it's just 2 hours, then it's the stipend rate per hour. But if it's bigger than that, then we have a flat fee and then it's not going to cost any more than that.
Well, there again, though, the savings that
It's still
folks are
dramatic.
doing,
Mhm.
it outweighs what we're paying at,
Right,
at $40 an hour.
right.
Right? So if it ended up being 8 hours, I don't agree with paying someone $200 for those 8 hours.
Right,
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
They need to be
exactly.
Compensated for their time.
right.
And that's the way that I would look at it.
Yeah.
Myself, so straw poll, I'll start it. Yes, I'm a yes for $40 an hour. Their stipend,
Yep.
whatever that might be,
Yes.
if it is $40. Stacy?
Yeah, somebody used to spend his weekends doing that. I would be all for that.
Okay.
And we do.
Justin? Yes. Carol?
Let's take weekends.
Carol?
I have a couple of questions of Leanne. Leanne, first, the proctoring of tests, that has to be done by your commissioners and not anyone else?
It could be done by IO Solution, and that was the initial cost I told you of the 1,700 just to get them to come.
But.
And then mileage, so there's more to it than that. They can do it or we can do it.
Okay, but no one else.
Correct.
Okay, and then secondly, what do you do if how many of your commissioners have to be present for
Well,
those
that-
interviews and proctoring? And what do you do if there's an absence of one of them?
So for proctoring, I think we could actually cut down to 2 people, just to have enough, depending on how many people test. So we have enough eyes on the process to make sure, like I mentioned before, there's no cheating. But if it's the interviews, it's all of us. Plus, in the past, we've also had both the police chief, deputy police chief. And depending on the type of interview, we've even brought in outside chiefs. It was for promotions, we brought in other agencies. So that's a bigger lift for the interview piece. But yes, more people are there. And we just work around their schedules to make sure they are here for those. We're on January 28th. I know David's not available. So Mark and we've already committed to that.
Okay.
And I'm sure Sam will be there.
Yeah.
Yes, he's shaking his head, yes.
Thank you, Leanne, very much.
Anything else, Carol?
Most of the time, the interviews would span how many man hours in a typical rotation?
We just went over that.
Yeah, we would schedule
Well,
about
let
an
her
hour.
repeat it for me, please.
Okay, we would schedule about an hour per interview because of the number of questions we ask. It's between like 8 and 12, depending on if it's promotional, lateral, or a new hire exam. And then it also depends if we have the external chiefs who bring additional questions. We've got it down because we ask the same questions now, but we've solicited
Absolutely.
questions in the past for what fits our need. So
So
we
that's
schedule about an
1
hour
hour per person?
per person. Yes, per interviewee.
Okay. Okay,
And then we try to give ourselves some times in between. We try to schedule them with a 15 minutes because we want to have kind of a consensus when we score it, that we're not one really high, one really low. We want to make sure that we are all hearing the same thing. So we do allow 15 minutes in between each interview.
thank you.
Anything else?
But, Carol, are you a yes to the hourly?
Yes, the suggested $40 stipend per hour. I guess my last question is the secretary present at all of these?
Interviews, yes, and I'm looking for the commissioners. I'm not necessarily looking for the secretary to make an hourly rate because she is a more fair stipend to begin with.
Sure.
But I
Correct.
think that's something we can discuss, or maybe it's a part of her stipend in addition. I mean, I think there's some flexibility there. She does great work for us. So again, I
Right,
don't want to call her in on a weekend and
right,
expect her to spend her day with us.
right. No, I-
So this,
Yeah.
this stipend then is for the commissioners.
Commissioners.
Right.
And then I have a
Commissioners only.
different stipend. I mine is $60 an hour.
And-
Right,
and it's
Right, I
fine.
get that. I remember
That's-
that.
Okay. I want to make sure we're all
No, no.
transparent.
No, we're good.
Okay,
We're good.
okay.
You get 60, they get 40.
Yeah.
No, we're good.
Okay.
Not a problem.
Anything else?
No, and then, Anthony,
Yes.
you're a yes? Okay, Sue?
Just one question. You're gonna have to swing around, Scott, and make this like an ordinance or resolution or something at a
Correct.
subsequent.
Before it goes into effect or any
We
payments.
only
it
have
has
2
to be here.
meetings before the testing
So it has
happens.
to be.
No, it will not be done. That's why I'm doing this straw poll to we'll authorize.
You're not, it's by ordinance. You can't change, you can't add it just by itself. It's part of the ordinance.
That's
So, yeah,
what I,
that's correct.
that's what I
Yeah,
thought.
and we have time to review
So the
it.
straw poll is, you're
I
just
think
getting
you
the
put in the
flavor.
ordinance, it sounds.
Yes,
Yeah.
but you're gonna have to.
2 meetings, are you saying?
So December 20th, we can definitely bring
Yeah,
this
no,
forward.
we can do it in one. We can do it.
You've got 2 meetings before we have that test.
Yeah, we can do it in one meeting.
Date in January.
28th.
Not a big deal. We can do it all in one night.
Okay.
Michael?
I'm a yes for 40, 60,
Mhm.
like Stacy have done in the past, and
You
the
know,
only stipulation would be when you have an opening on the board, could you call me?
I'm,
I'd like to apply.
do you want to switch with these?
We'll get you one.
Oh, no, no.
That was good. Hey, seriously though, Leah, thanks for all the.
Oh, you're very welcome. I hopefully, my numbers are, I think, excellent year to year. I ask for money just in case you say no to things and I have to hire outside, but for the most part, I think we've got a great control on it.
Do a great job for us. Thank you.
Thank you. Well, hopefully we can get some great people coming in. So,
Exactly.
Yeah.
You have a happy holiday.
thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Okay, item 6. Steve, can you please give us a financial report?
Bills submitted for approval tonight are expenditures per list of $679,676. We have payroll expenses of $102,802, leaving cash on hand after payment of the bills of $8,624,355. We do not have motor fuel expenditures tonight. And the cash on hand in the motor fuel fund is $1,183,823.
Okay, thank you very much. We have a motion to pay the bills.
So
First by Sue Petty, second by Anthony Keene. Any discussion?
I have one question.
Sure. Great.
The mural pop-up party. Are we done with the mural bills?
Yes.
Okay, and this was for a sound system? or-
Yes, I thought it was part of a previous bill, but it wasn't. It was a standalone one. It
Well,
was,
I mean, over there.
it was unfortunate. It was a pop-up party where it rained. But there was.
So they never
Oh,
performed.
no, they did. They
I
did.
can't remember.
Oh, no, over
Yeah.
there. Oh, yeah. No, he had musical.
They're playing music and then
It
we
was
spoke
just-
in the microphone and we all huddled in the rain.
I was there, I just don't remember the music.
Oh, yeah.
And the Stenstrom, the second payout for the Public Works
Mhm.
parking lot. How many more installments do we have?
Brandon, how close did that bring it to being complete? There'd be, I suspect there'll only be one more. The project is done. So there'll just be one final bill. But Brandon, do you know how much is outstanding right now?
Actually, Scott, that the project is not completely done. Most of it is done. We do have a few remaining items like installing the handicap ADA signage in the parking stalls. And then per the specifications, actually, the striping of the parking lot was to receive a double coat. And talking with the contractor, they plan on coming back next spring. They did one coat this fall, and they plan on coming back next spring. So I still have to talk with them about how we're going to, if we're going to close that project out, this year. And I don't know how that would work as far as, getting them back next year to complete that if we were to close that out. So that's something that I got to work through, but I am hoping that we can have one more pay application and that would be closed out.
Well, Brandon, naturally, if you want them to come back, you hold back a little bit, right?
Right, no kidding.
Yep.
Yeah, so, I mean, the golden rule of thumb,
Why they build escrow accounts.
the golden rule of thumb is always 10%.
We've been holding 10%. We have,
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, so we'll get that figured out.
if there's still, as I'm looking at that pay request, there's still, looks to me to be about 30,000 left of work unbilled perhaps. And although that could be a product of some measurement in place as well, but that's close. And then 10% retainage on the whole project, that doesn't get released until.
Yeah. Yep.
That's
Perfect.
correct.
But we have enough money to keep their attention.
Yep. Yeah, well, we can do that. That's not a problem. Okay, so is that the only question? Okay. Any other questions? Clerk, call the roll, please.
Gustafson,
Yes,
Teddy,
Yes.
Dunn,
Yes.
Keen,
Yes.
Flock,
Yes.
Malco.
Yes.
Okay, motion carries 6-0. Dave, you got the,
Okay, the year-to-date budget, the actual report that you received is for the period ending October 31st. That's 10 months out of 12, 22 payrolls out of 26. Revenues, it appears, will end the year about 1.7 million higher than the amount that was budgeted. And reasons for that are we received the CARES grant in 2022. We really thought that would have been revenue in 2021. That was $436,000. Sales tax revenue is probably going to finish up about 280,000. Video gaming, about 110,000, income tax and personal property replacement tax up about 600 and some thousand. The expenditures, we've got payroll expenses are about 2.3% under budget. And it's kind of looking like the other expenditures will be pretty much right on budget.
okay, thank you very much, Steve. Appreciate that. Okay, item 7, consent agenda. We have 3 items under consent agenda, which are 7.1, approval of November 15th, 2022 meeting minutes. 7.2, approval of 2023 holiday schedule. 7.3, approval of 2023 village board meeting schedule. If there are no objections to these items, part of the consent agenda, I'd like to do them all at once. Any objections? No, hearing none. Hearing no objections, may I have a motion to approve the items listed under the consent agenda?
So moved.
Again. First by Anthony Keene, second by Justin Black. Any discussion? Clerk, call the roll, please.
Gustafson,
yes,
Flock,
Yes.
Teddy,
Yes.
Malco,
Yes.
Dunn,
Yes.
Keen.
Yes.
Okay, motion carries 6-0. Item 8, motion and resolutions, final action, 8.1. Approval of ordinance 2022-11, establishing the 2022 property tax levy, tentative levy approval on 11/1/2022. Is there a motion to approve?
So move.
First by Justin Black. Can I have a second?
Second.
Second by Stacy Malco. Any discussion? Clerk, call the roll, please.
Teddy,
No.
Malco,
Yes.
Dunn,
Yes.
Flock,
Yes.
Keen,
Yes.
Gustafson,
no,
Motion carries 4-2. 8.2, approval of ordinance 2022-12, approving the abatement of the 2022 property tax levy for general obligation, alternate bond series 2017. Is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
First by Justin Clark, and I have a second by Anthony King. Any discussion? Clerk call the roll,
Wait
please.
a minute, which one is this?
2017.
2017 is the police department.
Okay. Thank you.
Yep. Anything else?
No.
Clerk call the roll, please.
Malco,
Yes.
Petty,
Yes.
Dunn.
Yes.
Flock,
Yes.
King,
Yes.
Gustafson.
Yes,
Trustee Petty, the next one was the refinancing of the village.
Of the village hall. Yeah. Motion carries 6-0. 8.3, approval of ordinance 2022-13, approving the abatement of the 2022 property tax levy for general obligation alternate bond series 2018. Is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
First by Justin Black, can I have a second?
Second.
Second by Anthony King. Any discussion? Clerk call the roll, please.
King,
Yes.
Gustafson,
yes,
Malco,
Yes.
Petty,
Yes.
Dunn,
Yes.
Flock.
Yes.
Motion carries 6-0. 8.4, approval of resolution 2022-R71, approving a settlement agreement with Jacob Feldhaus. Is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
First by Justin Black, and I have a second.
Second.
Second by Stacy Malaco. Any discussion? Clerk call the roll, please.
Flock,
Yes.
Malco,
Yes.
King,
Yes.
Petty,
Yes.
Gustafson,
yes,
Dunn.
Yes.
Motion carries 6-0. 8.5, approval of resolution 2022-R72, approving the tentative and final plat 5 of Hawks Point subdivision. Is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
First by Justin Black, second by Stacy Malaco. Any discussion? Clerk call the roll, please.
Gustafson,
no,
Petty,
No.
Malco,
Yes.
King,
Yes.
Dunn,
Yes.
Flock.
Yes.
Motion carries 4-2. 8.6, approval of tentative plat for the Hawks Point subdivision remainder. There a motion to approve.
So moved.
First by Justin Black, and I have a second. Second by Stacy Malaco. Any discussion? Clerk call the roll, please.
Flock,
Yes.
Dunn,
Yes.
Malco,
Yes.
King,
Yes.
Petty,
No.
Gustafson.
no,
Motion carries 4-2. Item 9, new business. Excuse me. Whoa. Got some more reading here. Item 9, new business. Anybody have anything on our new business? Because item 10 is going to be the liquor commission stuff. So, no? Okay. Item 10.1, 2023 liquor license renewals. Having voted on each of the license classes individually at committee, is there any objection to voting on all 33 licenses renewals in a single motion?
It's fine.
Okay, is there a motion to approve 10.1.1 through 10.1.8?
So moved.
First by Sue Petty, second by Michael Dunn. Any discussion? Clerk call the roll, please.
Flock,
Yes.
Gustafson,
yes,
Petty,
Yes.
King,
Yes.
Dunn,
Yes.
Malco.
Yes.
Okay, motion carries 6-0. Thank you very much. And just so you guys know, approving the licenses will bring the total number of licenses issued up to 34. We will have an ordinance establish this limit for approval for the next board meeting. Item 11, old business. Does anyone have anything under old business?
You gotta do 10-2-1.
Oh, 10.2. Oh, sorry. What did I do wrong?
You skipped.
10.2, my apologies. 10.2, approval of new liquor license. 10.2.1, approval of issuance of a new Class BL boutique gaming liquor license to Ann's Cafe LLC Roscoe, doing business at Ann's Lucky 777s, license premise 5257 Swanson Road, Unit 6, Roscoe, Illinois 61073. Approval of this, yeah. So can I have a motion to approve?
So moved.
Second.
First by Michael Dunn, second by Justin Black. Any discussion? Clerk call the roll, please.
Dunn,
Yes.
Gustafson,
yes,
Malco,
Yes.
Flock,
Yes.
King,
Yes.
Petty.
Yes.
Excellent. Apologize for that. There's a lot of 10 points there. Item 11, old business. Mr. Keen, I believe you wanted to say something on your old business, didn't you?
Well, I'd like to bring to everyone's attention some recent news that's been on multiple channels and in the media. There has been a new weapons addition to our Air Force, the B-21 Raider. It's a significant airframe which will be replacing the B-1 and B-2 bombers that have been in place for the last couple of decades. Some of the articles that you will read will allude to coatings on the specific aircraft. I just wanted to get everyone familiar with the opportunity that I've been working on out here in Mojave for the past year. There are some contributions that were made to that project from my group. So I don't want anyone to think that their patience and support have not gone, truly to the bottom of my heart, because everybody has been in my corner while I'm out here. But B-21 is very unique, and I really can't comment about some of the uniquenesses, but it is state of the art, and replacing the B-1 and B-2 would have to be.
I appreciate all of that update on defense objects, but what does that have to do with village business? Are there some local contractors contributing to this project?
Well, no, there's not, Carol, but
So thank you, thank you. So let's move on.
you got your 3 seconds of fame, so we're good.
Yeah, he got his
Okay.
3 seconds this week and 2 weeks ago.
Sure, not a problem.
I appreciate the update, Tony.
Yeah, thank you, Tony.
You're welcome.
Item 12, public comment. Anybody have anything under public comment? Does anyone want to share? Come on, want to jump up there real quick and do public comment? Are you good? No?
Yeah.
No, come on, come on.
No.
We got anybody out there on the web there, Joseph?
No.
No?
So.
Okay, once again, remaining members of the public, either present or logged into the meeting this evening, wish to speak, please limit your comments to 3 minutes. And if you are online, please hit *6 to raise your hand, so Joseph can let you into the room. We got anybody?
Nobody raised their hand. We do have a couple members, but no.
Okay, public comment going once, public comment going twice, public comment is now gone. Item 13, executive session. I don't think we need to go into an executive session this evening. Item 14, motion for adjournment.
So moved.
First by Sue Petty, can I have a second, please?
Second.
Second by Justin Flott. Clerk, call the roll, please.
Dunn,
Yes.
King,
Yes.
Malaco,
Yes.
Gustafson,
Yes.
Flock,
Yes.
Peggy.
Yes.
You need a minute in between?
I'll probably get some water, but go ahead and start.